Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to be choosing which tier set we want to use in Season 4 because Blizzard has announced in a blue post that they're allowing you to vote for which tier set you want to use in Season 4, and that's going to be including Trance Monks, that's going to include the tier set bonuses. And again, in this video I'm going to be vote for every single healer in terms of what tier set I want to play in Season 4 for multiple different reasons. The most important thing about this is to read very end of the blue post in terms of any bonuses you choose will be tuned to be as strong as any others. So the concept of this almost competition is that you should be choosing a tier set bonus not because you have fond memories in Season 1 because a certain tier set was so powerful and you were so OP. Not because of that, but because a tier set changed your gameplay. It made it more interesting to play. It made your class more interesting to play because you play Mythic Plus, and it changed how you play your class in Mythic Plus or in raids. So that's the concept here. They're trying to say that in a perfect world they'll try to balance it. So in theory, no class, or at least in terms of healers, no class should be choosing Season 1 tier set bonuses, because Season 1 tier set bonuses were extremely bland. They were basically stat sticks, they were basically just procs or whatever, nothing really too groundbreaking. So the like, in my mind, if any class is going to have, and again we'll talk about the voting and all that, but if any class or people decide to choose Season 1 tier set, that's an indication that the developers failed to make an impactful and fun tier set for that specific class or spec. And keep in mind, in this video I was using the US voting links because purely at the time of recording this video it had almost 3 times more votes than the EU equivalent, which can indicate where the community is heading towards when talking about these tier sets. So let's go and start off with Restoration Druid. We're going to talk about Season 1, Season 2 and Season 3 tier sets, which one I'm going to choose and I'm going to vote for. And again, this is the link where you can vote for this, and again make sure you do vote because your vote will matter. Again, Season 1 extremely bland. I did like the fact that wild growths were pretty overpowered or pretty powerful in Season 1, but I think in general, in my opinion, I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards Season 3 because we're right now in Season 3. And I think the fact that the tier set bonus for Resto Druids, again, Resto Druids are one of the OP or powerful classes in Mythic Plus content when it comes to pushing highest keys in the world. And partly, or not partly, one of the main reasons for that is the Season 3 tier set bonus. The fact that your Grove Guardians, the fact that your 2 set, 4 set bonus synchronizes, it really creates a really fun gameplay, on top of the fact that you can go into a feral form, do damage, you can still cast your Grove Guardians, or Grove Guardians gonna work with your 2 set bonus and so all that. So I think a lot of people are going to want Season 3 tier set bonus for Restoration Druid. I'm willing to bet it's going to be the most popular, but we'll have to see. I think Season 2 bonus is, again, in terms of the gameplay, I think the biggest aspect here is that Flourish increases the rate of your heal over time effects by 26% for additional 16 seconds after it ends, which made Flourish a really powerful cooldown because of the 4 set bonus and things like that. You have to remember the tier set bonuses actually changed throughout, and I think a lot of people are going to look at this and they're like, Flourish was really nerfed, the Flourish is not as good as it used to be and things like that. The tier set bonus for Druids was a little bit different as well initially on the PTO and things like that. It used to be like 40%, and a lot of things have changed in terms of the power. I'm trying not to look at the power of the tier sets themselves. I'm trying to look at the gameplay that it actually would, how would it change the Restoration Druid gameplay. I would like to think that a lot of Resto Druids who do raiding, they're probably not a huge fan of what happened to Resto Druids in Season 3 because Resto Druids could use some love in that raiding, but I think anyone who's doing Mythic Plus, they're going to really like that Season 3. So I'm going to go into the voting, and the website is all over the place. It's very slow, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of errors and things like that. I might have to re-vote again, but I'm gonna vote for Season 3 because I want the good times to continue. I want the Resto Druid Mythic Plus dominance to continue and things like that. I enjoy it, and you can see here in terms of the vote, Season 3 tier set bonus is winning by a pretty decent margin. I think Season 2 bonus could actually come back, but again, these are early days. Let's move on to the next healer. Next healer, Preservation of Evoker, and honestly it's something that I mained for quite a while in Dragonflight. For the 2 of the major raid releases, I was maining Preservation of Evoker, and right now I'm playing Holy Paladin, so Preservation holds... I mean, I had a really fun time with Season 1, with Season 2. I had a lot of fun time with these tier sets. Season 1 tier set, Empowered Spells increases aversion's healing by 35% for 6 seconds. Again, this was changed. The original version of Evoker 2 set bonus was actually kind of insane in terms of how it's scaled. It used to have Empowered Spells increases aversion's chance to critically heal. So that would that created a bit of an issue in terms of how Blizzard was going to balance 2-set bonus. Actually, funnily enough, Preservation of Evoker, some of the 2-set bonuses that they had have been so powerful when you compare it to some of the 4-set bonuses, so that's something interesting. I generally believe people are gonna go with Season 1, because I think it's mainly because with in terms of the gameplay change, that Reversion Healing has a chance to cause your next Living Flame to cast instantly and deal 20% increased damage or healing stacks up to 2 times. Instant cast Living Flames was something that a lot of people want, including myself, who played Preservation of Evoker. It's very similar to the quality of life improvements that, let's say, this Priest Season 2 tier set bonus provided. It provided instant cast Power of Radiances. That was really fun. That was kind of worked into the Discipline playstyle. It made the class feel more, you know, it wasn't as stationary. You had more instant cast and things like that. To the same way that Preservation of Evoker Season 1 4-set bonus allowed you to have instant cast Living Flames, and it made it feel a lot less clunky. I don't know about you, for me, Preservation of Evoker, every time I have to hardcast Living Flames, I kind of cringe a little bit. It just feels really out of place. So I personally really want to see instant cast Living Flames to come back. I also want Reversion to come back. It's been a little while since we've seen Reversion as a usable spell. I'm not talking about Mythic Plus, I'm talking about more in raiding and things like that. It's been a while since we've seen Reversion back, so I'm actually enjoying. I actually would want to see Season 1 tier set to come back. Season 2 tier set is very fresh in my mind in terms of Spirit Bloom. You're using Spirit Bloom to kind of create this ramp. No, not even ramp, just creating this boom of healing that you can have, because you're going to proc your echoes and things like that. It's Spirit, and the 4-set bonus after casting 4 empowered spells gain Essence Burst immediately, and another one 3 seconds later. In terms of gameplay, I don't hate this, I don't love this. It's something that I have to track with a weak aura, but outside of that, you know, I'm not a huge... I don't really hate this, I don't really love it. Again, the 4-set bonuses for Preservation of Evokers have been somewhat, in my opinion, on the weaker side when you compare it to the 2-set bonus, and the, of course, Season 3 4-set bonus is something that I don't think a lot of people really like, in terms of Living Flame has a chance to apply Echo at 70% effectiveness on allies healed. I don't think anyone who heals likes to have RNG aspects to any type of, or any aspect that they're healing. Again, I'm going to vote for Preservation of Evoker. I want Season 1, and that's not, again, I said it at the start of the video, that no Season 1 tier set bonus should be the most popular one, because that indicates the poor design of the class. But I actually think that Season 1 tier set bonuses for Evoker, I think this aspect here should have been baked into the class by default. I think Season 1 instant cast Living Flames, I think that's going to be somewhere in there. I think Season 2 is also probably going to be somewhere close. But I think Season 1 seems to be fun. Again, this is my vote. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let's go to my boy Mistweaver Monk, and I think this is going to be a relatively easy one. I think most people are going to pick Season 3 bonus again, because I genuinely believe it's one of the bonuses that people just... There's not much to hate about this bonus. I think it creates a different type of gameplay. It creates an interesting, or it changes how you do your ramps in raids. You're trying to look at people who have your tree harmony and things like that. In Mythic Plus, you can have a lot of tree harmonies. I'm not really looking at the power of it, I'm looking at the gameplay association. I think there could have been more people who would want to pick up Season 2 bonus, but you have to remember, Season 2 bonus, 2-set bonus, renewing, mist soothing, mist enveloping, mist healing is increased by 12%. That was not always like that. Initially, it was all about giving you mana back. You can see here, grant Soulfang Infusion, and it's going to grant you mana and things like that. But Blizzard's rationale in Season 3 was all about, hey, every healer needs to have or healers have to have mana issues. Mana is going to be a resource, even though certain healers still have infinite mana to some extent. So they kind of changed that, they removed that. So because of these changes, I don't think a lot of people are going to vote for Season 2. Without a doubt, Mistweaver Monk, Season 3, I want Season 3 bonus again. I think most people are going to vote for that. I think that's one of the reasons why monks are doing really well. And you can see right here, almost 80%. I think most Mistweavers agree. Let me know how you feel. Now let's go to Holy Paladin, and honestly this one is going to be kind of difficult, because I think there's a couple of tier sets here that actually change how you play your Holy Paladin. Now I do think that I don't think any of these are really groundbreaking in terms of what they provide, and I think there's going to be a lot of, how do I say, rose tinted glasses type of thing when people are looking at Season 2 and they remember the glory days of Holy Paladin. They're like, I really want back the Holy Prism that would pack a punch, Light's Hammer that I could use in raid content and things like that. There was a lot of, like, you have to remember, Season 2 tier set bonus would actually impact your talent build and gameplay in such a way that you probably run Lights Hammer in raids, you probably run Holy Prism in Mythic Plus, and those things would actually pack a punch. Whether it's going to be holy power generation, or whether it's going to be how much they deal or their throughput. But also at the same time, I don't think Season 3 tier set is all that bad in terms of what it provides. Again, the 2 set bonus is alright. The 4 set bonus did not used to provide haste on PTR for the longest time. It just used to create or reduce the cooldown of your Daybreak by 15 seconds. But then people complained on PTR and they're like, okay, we're gonna add the haste component. So there was a lot of complaints about this, and now if you're playing Season 3 Holy Paladin, whether it's going to be Mythic Plus or Raids, your Daybreak is 45 seconds, your Divine Toll is 45 seconds, depending on which talent you take in the class tree. So you can use them more often. And I don't know what I want to play in Season 4 in terms of, do I want to have more powerful Holy Prisms in something like Mythic Plus content? Do I want to have more powerful Lights Hammer in Raid content? Or do I want to have more frequent core abilities like Daybreak? So genuinely have no, I want to know your opinion. I'm gonna vote purely in this case, probably for Season 2, just because I want to have a bit more of a mix-up. I don't want to have the same tier set for a really long time, purely because of this. But honestly, I don't really mind. Season 3, Season 2, I think both of these provide some sort of gameplay changes. Let me know which one you want, because I'm genuinely really unsure about this one. I think a lot of people are gravitating towards Season 2, but that might be a bit of that, like, hey, I want to go back to the glory days type of thing. Let me know how you feel about this. Really unsure about Holy Paladin. Let's go to Discipline Priest, and this is probably going to be very contested, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to long the days of Season 2 in terms of your spells have a chance to cause your next power radiance to be instant. So we talked about Preservation of Evoker in terms of having instant cast Living Flames. We have the same kind of deal in Season 2 with Discipline Priest. Now, you have to consider Season 3 tier set bonus in terms of numerical values is absolutely insane, even though calculating cooldown reduction they provide can be really difficult. I've recently started gearing, and I've been playing my Discipline Priest and Mythic Plus content, and I'm running that Mindbender build, and honestly, Mindbender build with Bloodlust or something along those lines, the cooldown reduction you can get is absolutely mind-blowing. I think a lot of people are going to want Season 3 bonus to come back, because the cooldown reduction gameplay that it provides is interesting. It can be interesting, it can have a high skill ceiling both in Raids and Mythic Plus in terms of trying to optimize it, in terms of trying to get your ramps and things like that. But I also think a lot of people want that instant cast power radiance, and if Blizzard can actually balance these tier sets to be, let's say, equally powerful, I don't think, honestly, I've read this at the start of the video, I don't think Blizzard is going to be able to balance everything perfectly. So that's something to, you know, pinch of salt. What am I gonna do? Like, who am I gonna vote for in terms of Season 2, Season 3? I'm voting towards Season 3 because of the cooldown reduction and things like that, but I also really want instant cast powered radiance. So in my case, I'm going to vote for Season 3, but I'm voting begrudgingly, because I want to have instant cast radiances, but I also don't want to lose Season 3 bonus, because it's so integral to the current version of Discipline Priest. So in terms of, I think it's going to be very close. I think Season 2 and Season 3 tier set bonuses are going to be close. I think Season 3 is probably the correct answer, the quotation marks, there is no right or wrong answer. I think it's going to be close. Let me know which one you picked. If I could have instant cast powered radiances with Season 3 tier set bonus, I think that just creates a perfect class to some extent. Let's go to Holy Priest and see which tier set bonus we're going to vote. Honestly, I'm a little bit... Again, I've been playing my Priest very recently. I've been doing a lot of Mythic Plus and Raids and things like that. And I tested PTR in terms of Season 3 bonus. And Season 3 bonus, the 4 set bonus, used to be absolutely garbage. So when you read Renews Healing has a chance to cause your next Holy Word Sanctify or Holy Word Serenity to not consume a charge. Has a chance. This used to be something like on PTR you could do a dungeon, it would proc like 4 or 5 times. Then they changed that, and then it would proc like 40 times. So it went through a whirlwind of emotions in terms of, you know, the proc chances and things like that. I generally kind of enjoy this bonus right now. I like having, like, I've been running a lot of Holy Priest Mythic Plus content and just banking up on these charges and just unleashing your Holy Word spells one after another after big AoE damage or something, or people who need single target or whatever, is actually kind of fun. And so I don't... Season 3 tier set bonus has grown on me. So the season 2 tier set bonus, I actually played with this quite a bit, is extremely passive in my opinion, because when you cast Prayer of Mending, there's a 35% chance its effect is duplicated to another ally, and then when Prayer of Mending jumps or expires, it increases damage or healing of your next holy word by 4%, stacking up to 15 times. I think it's an extremely passive tier set bonus that I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards because it made your Prayer of Mending absolutely insane. Like, I remember doing raids and things like that, and you just press your Prayer of Mending, and it would just be like by miles the top heal. And this was during the PTR stages and things like that. And again, the season 1 bonus, I honestly can't remember that much. I'm not gonna vote for season 1 bonus. Seems like a stat stick to you know, in a lot of extent. I think it's going to be between season 2 and season 3. I think season 3 is going to generally win out, but I also feel that there is probably going to be a lot of people who want that passive type of gameplay from season 2. I'm not sure if I want another season of the same tier set, so that's one of the reasons why I would kind of lean towards season 2, but we're gonna vote for season 3. I want to see the results and things like that. So wow, it's basically the same. So it's between season 3 and season 2. Any of these could win. I think the only reason I won't vote for season 3 again is because I don't want another tier set, or I might get a burnout from another tier set. So honestly, 2 or 3, let me know. Holy Priest, very, very, very close right now. Now let's go to my boy Resto Shaman. And honestly, when they announced this poll, this was the first healer that I thought of, because I don't want to get too kind of negative and things like that, but I just genuinely didn't know which tier set bonus I would want for Resto Shaman, because I don't think the person who's responsible, I don't know how Blizzard does the development for these tier sets, but I don't think the person who was responsible for Resto Shaman tier sets did a really good job in Dragonflight. I think a lot of the tier sets have been overcooked. They've not been balanced enough, or they change your gameplay in almost a negative way. And I think Season 3 is a perfect example of a tier set that just doesn't really work, in my opinion. The fact that most of the Resto Shamans are running 4-set bonus for Season 3 is because Riptide's healing is increased by 25%. I think Season 3 tier set bonus will be viewed as a failure in many aspects, or they either create a tier set bonus that's really good in something like raid content, but it's really bad in Mythic Plus, or vice versa. It's never kind of like a clear balance. Now, tier set 2-set bonus in Season 2 bonus was viewed as something that people were not even going to use as Resto Shamans when it comes to Mythic Plus content. That was the initial version. Then they kind of changed it, or they kind of buffed it throughout Dragonflight, throughout Season 2. And I actually kind of grown to like the tier set bonus of Season 2 in all forms of content, even though it does set up a lot of, or has a big setup time, because you do have to cast Healing Rain. You cast Healing Rain regardless, or you cast it on cooldown anyways, depending on which talents you're running, but it did have a decent setup time. But I didn't hate the different possibilities of gameplay that you could play as Restoration Shaman in Season 2. But I'm going to vote, and I'm going to say this here, I'm going to vote for Season 1, because I'm going to show, or at least this is my indication, that hey, I'd rather take an extremely passive tier set bonus here, with Healing Stream or Cloudburst is active, your chances to critical strike is increased by 10%. This gives you damage. This actually gives you damage. It's actually the only aspect of this tier set bonus that actually provides you damage, because you're going to get increased critical strike, which is going to add healing and damage. And also your critical heals have a 215% effectiveness instead of the usual 200%. I'm going to choose this, the most passive bonus there is, because I believe that they failed with other tier set bonus, even though Season 2 is my next choice. So I'm picking Season 1, even though Season 2 is going to be something that I actually liked and I would like to come back, but this is my kind of like a stance. Let's see the show results here, and you can see here they're extremely close right now. I don't mind. I'm happy with Season 1 or Season 2, but this is my stance on the fact that Blizzard needs to get better with tier sets, or at least if they do create a tier set that's going to be usable, it takes them too long to make that tier set usable when compared to a lot of other classes. So guys, let me know which tier set bonuses you're going to vote. Again, keep in mind there's no really right or wrong answers here, because remember, any bonuses you choose will be tuned to be as strong as any others. So you're looking at the gameplay changes and things like that, and these are my thoughts. I'm not encouraging people to vote the same way. Use your own preferences. Which tier set was the most fun for you? Which class was the most fun? Which, again, are you pushing Mythic Plus? Are you pushing rating and things like that? Let me know which tier sets you're going to vote for. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next guide.